Led by their coach, North Korean hockey players in red and white parkas arrived in South Korea to meet their new teammates.
Yeah, this is the unified Korean hockey team, just starting to take shape now, and only 2 weeks before the opening ceremony of the Olympics. It's historic, a little bit awkward at times, and it happened in the city of Jincheon, where these athletes train.
And that's where Will Ripley is standing by live. So how is this combining of the two teams going to work out?
Well, they're going to try to make it work, Amber. They're going to be training very intensively here at the Olympic Training Center in Jincheon, about 2 hours south of Seoul. And the arrival yesterday, as you mentioned, it was a bit awkward. One South Korean athlete described it almost like the first day of school. There was some nervous laughter, there were smiles, they presented flowers, and then they have to get down to the business of two teams of athletes who've never worked together before, have about 2 weeks before they're going to be competing together in the Olympics. This was a pretty divisive issue in this country, which supports the unified Olympics. They're happy that the North and South are going to be marching together under a unified flag. But the fact that this decision was kind of made unilaterally to combine the women's ice hockey teams without consulting with the players first has some people in this country saying, look, it's not really fair. These athletes have been training, in some cases, for years for this moment, and now they might not get time on the ice because they're going to have to rotate in the North Korean teammates. But then there are others who say, if you look at the bigger picture here, this is historic. It's the first time that the North and South will be competing together in the Olympics in a team like this. And so bigger picture, could this lead to some sports diplomacy and perhaps bigger diplomatic breakthroughs down the road? That is certainly the hope here in South Korea, even as some are complaining, Michael and Amara, that the hockey players themselves are kind of being used as pawns here in all of this.
Yeah, you've got to hope that the players are going to see that big picture, because if you have trained for 5, 6, 8 years to get to the Olympics and it's like, sorry, you're on the bench, you might be a little annoyed. What about the public? What are they saying about this? They behind it?
If you look at public opinion polls, they support the unified Olympics, but there is opposition to the unified team for that exact reason, because of the fact that they really feel for these young athletes and feel like they have been training and preparing for so long, and now their Olympic dreams might be crushed here. But they're going to do the best that they can. They have about a week of training here, then they have a friendly match against Sweden coming up on February the 4th, and then their first game against Switzerland is coming up on February 10th. So in this very short amount of time, they're going to have to figure out how to develop camaraderie, how to become a unified team, and that means a lot of time on the ice and, frankly, away from the cameras. The Olympic Training Center here is almost like a fortress. It's really on lockdown, but there are cameras being allowed inside, hopefully to capture the training, and the hope is that there will be some friendships that'll result from this. You remember back in Rio in 2016, there was that selfie that the North and South Korean gymnasts took together, and it really went viral as a symbol of what could happen, how sports can bring people together, even two countries that are still technically at war. They're hoping for a repeat of that out here, and it all begins here in Jincheon at the training center.
Yeah, true. It can have that impact. And finally, before we let you go, how cold is it? Because you look freezing.
I was just noticing you have a cute red cheeks, Will.
You've got the little red cheeks going.
Rosy red cheeks. You look a little flushed.
It is a balmy negative 18 out here right now. I'm wearing 3 pairs of pants. 3 pairs of pants, 2 sweaters, 3 jackets, and I'm still cold. So,
I'm sorry.
I don't know. We'll see how it's going. It's negative 24 in Pyeongchang right now.
My God.
And Michael's sitting here 24. Laughing in this warm studio. Bad guy. We're going to let you go, Will. Go get warm.
Enjoy the warm studio.
Yeah, exactly. I feel bad. We're going to bring you some coffee or some hot chocolate.
You did well. Love to you and the crew. Props.
Good to see you, Will. Thank you for that.